Hey guys, you know who it is. You know where you are and you know what's happening. J Chats is back. So just simply subscribe and share, and of course click that bell so you know every time I drop a new video, you're there with me. Before we jump into the conversation, let's say thanks to our sponsors for this episode. Vision. Some might tell you what to pursue, but you alone know what lights the fire inside. Vision. You might not gain support. Some walks, my friend, are to be made solo. They might try to cap your potential by their definition of your worth. Whatever the dream, whatever the goal. Who says you can't? Don't limit your vision. Ferreira Optical. TWIGS Naturals is the first Caribbean tea brand to be recognized internationally, having won not just one, but 2 awards at the 2017 Global Tea Championship. TWIGS Natural brings the Caribbean to you. Not only do they produce high-quality teas, rich and bursting with so much flavor and absolutely zero additives, they also bring fresh, natural seasonings to your kitchen directly from the farmers in Trinidad and Tobago. So today, I sit down and I chat with Nigel Jordan, the owner of TWIGS Naturals. Let's find out more how we can certainly taste the Caribbean naturally. Hey guys, welcome back to a new season of J Chats. I'm JD. Hope you are well. We are inside of a brand new year, 2021. I know it was a difficult one last year, but hopefully this year brings you great success and you achieve everything you set out to achieve. And, you know, one of the things I've been doing most recently is having a conversation with this particular young man, this entrepreneur right here, for months actually. We've been promising to sit down and do this. It finally has happened. You heard a little bit about him and his company in the bio. So on screen with me inside of today's first episode is Mr. Nigel Jordan, the man behind TWIGS Naturals. Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. Blessed, thankful, grateful, happy, pushing on into 2021.
Well, you know what? We are here, and that in itself is one of the blessings, biggest blessings ever, you know? And we're matching too. We did not plan it. It sort of just happened, you know, in sync. Well, we're talking about teas today. And during this time, we'll certainly just mention something that we're planning to do later on as well, outside of J Chats, but still on the Julian Gibbs YouTube channel. So I need you to check it out. Of course, we'll be sharing it to various channels as well. But most recently, let me tell you guys what really happened, right? So most recently, I started doing the teas, but by a different name, you know, the generic ones that we use. And I posted this on my Instagram page, and someone jumped in and said, no way. You know, they were astonished that I was drinking that. And really, to be honest with you, I did not get a true authentic taste inside of that, but I just needed something at that time whilst on air. So, the relationship again started again because we've been talking for years, and finally we're doing this. I want you guys to find out so much more. If you know already, hey, that is great, just continue to spread the word, but let's find out some more about TWIGS Naturals. I met this gentleman maybe 2-3 years ago at one of those open convention sort of markets, and I fell in love with one of his iced teas. So from there, I said, you know, this is one of those things I needed to include in my life. I slap on the wrist, I didn't. But I'm promising you now, TWIGS is really in my life. See, I got it. Yeah. So, Nigel, I gave them a bit of a bio about the company. It's an internationally recognized company. You've received awards for the great work you've done in providing us with some really authentic teas. But I want to know, how did this start? Because that's one of the things persons would love to know before jumping into the whole online marketing and all that. What happened in that kitchen some years ago that birthed this brand?
So you made a statement before about the man behind TWIGS Naturals, a little correction.
Uh-huh.
History of this whole thing really lies with my son. So in fact, that is the real man behind the thing. Isaac has a thing for tea. This is at the time he was 10 years old, and that's one of the strangest things I've ever come across in a little boy. He wanted to drink tea. And my daddy is from Aruba originally, and we would have grown up hearing, don't plant it if you can't eat it. So my little kitchen garden, like my daddy's own, my uncle's own, my aunt's own, the whole tradition is you must go in the yard and get the freshest seasoning, get the freshest this, get the freshest that. And that would have come from the learnings from Granny. Right. Granny had her own, so you had the regular kitchen garden and then you had the medicine kit.
Yes.
Right. So you tell it, go in the yard and pick from the yellow plant pot, not the green one on the side. Yellow one to the left, the one in the back, yeah, that one. And pick that and bring from it. So if you have a headache or stuffy nose or whatever is the case. So that tradition would have been handed down. And my son, because he loved tea, and my thought was, I wanted a pretty garden. Daddy's voice in my head talking, saying, don't plant it if you can't eat it. So I found a little middle ground. So we had like about 5 different types of mint. We had different types of sage and all those different aromatics. And we decided to try my mommy's favorite, Lord rest her soul. She believed in mint tea. And mommy had this thing, you have a headache, drink mint. You had a bad day, guess what? Drink mint tea. Somebody frustrated at work, drink some mint tea. So we decided the first one was actually peppermint. And we picked the stuff from in the yard. We used coffee filters as the original tea bag.
Right,
and
right.
Typical decorative ribbons you would put for your balloons, hanging up for your birthday party, that kind of stuff. And that was the tea bag. That was version 1, issue 1.
What year was that though?
That would have been Isaac is 16, about 5-6 years ago.
Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Because you say you started off getting into it at age 10.
It was literally something to do on a Sunday afternoon.
Right. So you mentioned some of the teas that most of us should have in our backyards. I've got fever grass, I've got the mint, but one of the things that you've also expanded on, if you check out the website, guys, you can check out www.twigsnatural.com. You will see some other types of teas. Like, for instance, when I saw garlic tea, I was like, well, yeah, garlic tea, I forgot that, because I tend to grate it. But this is so good because you make it so convenient. Many people were saying, Jay, I grate my ginger tea when they saw I put up the photo of the ginger tea that you provided. And I'm like, yes, but this is literally like having it grated. It is the same thing, but it gives you that convenience,
Exactly.
And majority of what you have in the tea bags are the product, unlike other brands that give you a smitten of it, if I can say that. Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
Not just about the ingredient. It's not just about the fact that we choose things that are traditional to us,
right,
but really want you to feel as if you created it. You picked the ingredient.
And you do get that.
We're about. Nature gives us everything that we desire, and all we do is package it, prepare it in as a convenient manner as possible.
So in 2017, you won the Global Tea Championship, yes?
We won 2 awards in that championship.
In 2 awards. What are those 2 awards, and what has life been like since that?
It's 2 separate categories.
Right.
The mint would have won in the single serve herbal category, meaning that category would have held herbal teas of 1 ingredient. So hips by lemongrass, by you name it. Once it's 1 ingredient in the tea bag, that's the category that would have been classified for single serve herbal. Right. And the other would have been the Caribbean Christmas tea. That's a blend of wild hibiscus, what we know as sorrel, and anise or fennel seeds.
Christmas tea.
Yes. That category is single serve herbal blended category. it was an amazing experience to just think we can have our product in that bracket on
Yeah.
a global scale. This is something we went and picked in the yard. The concept would have started like that, and here we are. If you're into the tea world, there are brands like Celestial Seasonings and New Me and Bigelow. Once we won those awards, we were then eligible to enter the um, Winners Tasting Circle, which is a
Right.
separate competition in the World Tea Expo later that same year. So 2017, June, July, I think it was, we were present at the World Tea Expo and had the opportunity to have the product tasted in that forum.
Mm.
And here it is, this is sitting next to big brands on a global scale. And I'm getting feedback from renowned tea blenders. These are the guys that blend your big names, as I said, like Bigelow and T40 and Celestial Seasonings. And they're overwhelmed by the simplest things to us. So it was really amazing and quite humbling at the same time because things we take for granted, they were like, oh my goodness, wow, the aroma, the this, where is it grown? So when we started to tell the story about Trinidad and Tobago, it was a truly humbling experience. Things like orange peel. Oh my goodness, the orange peel was a hit. We have a blend called citrine, orange peel, and lemongrass, and these guys were truly amazed that you sure it's just the skin of the orange in this? Yeah, and I think that's a classic Caribbean tea. So it was really an awesome experience. So here it is on a global scale. We're getting the feedback, the adulation, the love, and attention for something that is really run of the mill for us.
So you've taken it from the orange peel, which we knew we hang in the kitchen. Growing up, seen that hanging there in the kitchen. You can't throw away orange peel. I don't know if some international folks they'll be like, "What?" But yeah, it was wrong. It was forbidden to throw away an orange peel. Hang that up, let it dry. So you've taken us from that level to, of course, embracing turmeric, embracing the fever grass, or as they say, lemongrass, and all the other, and mints and all the other things. And I do want you to go through, even bay leaf shocked me. I told you about that one. So in a bit, just go through some of the different teas that you offer. But you said something about the global reach. How far off are some of your clients?
We have a pretty widespread. Just day before yesterday, we got a couple inquiries from South Africa. We've gotten quite a bit of traffic via our website from Australia. It's really hardcore tea lovers we're interacting with from those far reaches. A couple orders would come in via those avenues. The love for tea, the love for exotic flavors, the love for unusual flavors
Yeah.
really shines out in the conversation. But it's amazing as to when we look at the website stats where people are coming from, where the interest is. So again, it's things that are regular and run of the mill for us. And I've learned now that I'm actually a level 1 tea specialist. Terroir, where it's from, just like wine, just like tobacco, just like most of other high profile culinary experiences, where it's from is important. So in
Mm-hmm.
the of the ingredients that we use, we as people of the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago in particular, we don't realize how important our historical background impacts our culinary experience, our culinary story. So in the case of bay leaf, for example, what we call bay leaf is actually a different species from what is known on the international scale. The name for bay leaf is actually called laurel.
Laurel.
You
Okay.
search for laurel, you'd see bay leaf, and that's what is known commonly worldwide. But what we call bay leaf in the Caribbean, the correct name is actually West Indian bay leaf. It's a different plant altogether. The shape of the leaf is more oval versus the bay leaf being a more of a spear sort of shape, a pointed spear shape. and it carries a different flavor profile.
So what do
Yeah,
we have primarily here? We have the West Indian or the bay leaf itself of the
West
West
Indian.
Indian?
Yeah, the leaves are carry a more of a shine. It has
Yes.
a heavier crunch to it. So the flavors, at least in my perspective, is way more pungent, and
Okay.
all of those things adds to our culinary experience. We do bamboo tea. Bamboo is akin to a white tea. If you're a real hardcore tea drinker, it's a very light, delicate tea. But the real hardcore drinkers can discern the layers of flavor. So there's a light earthiness, but at the same time you get a crisp sort of freshness to it as well. So I think all of these little nuances appeal to what our product is. It speaks of us as a Caribbean people because we use flavors that are typically run of the mill. But what we also do is we apply some level of creativity. So the iced tea you would have had
Yeah.
is called carnelian. That's a blend of bay leaf and orange peel. Your classic orange peel, so you get the citrus notes as the base, and the spice finish of the West Indian bay leaf, also known as sweet cinnamon. So you
What is
have
sweet cinnamon? The bay leaf?
another name for the West Indian bay leaf is actually sweet cinnamon. So it carries a spicy sort of sweetness to the flavor, and that works really well together. So that's a bit of our creativity inside of there,
Right.
giving up our brand some sort of personality, while at the same time giving some flexible use for your typical orange peel.
Right. Right.
And for the alcohol drinkers, wink, wink, it goes really well with vodka.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, wink. Yeah, so we do a hard icy from time to time, but generally it's not something that we do very
I
often.
was now going to ask some of the iced teas, talk about that because we're so accustomed to the hot tea, but
Yeah. So we prepare it mostly for events. So if you're
right.
a kid and you want to get a bulk order, that kind of thing, because the manufacture process, we don't do any preservatives at all, at all, at all, at all.
Okay.
So the shelf life, because of no preservatives, is a bit limited. But because we've also been working with them, got some advice from Kariri to assist in the process. So even though it's no preservatives, once refrigerated, our shelf life could be up to 6 weeks, and you have an iced beverage, an iced tea that you can use as um, variations of a juice.
Yeah.
So we have the carnelian, as I said, that's bay leaf and orange peel. Another one we do from time to time is amber. That's actually my favorite. You're really not supposed to have a favorite child, but that one is my favorite. That's lemongrass and ginger. So you get
Yeah. Yeah.
the zing of the ginger, not a burn, but you get the ginger flavor with a slight zing,
True.
and the crispness of the lemongrass as well. We also do citrine, which is lemongrass and orange peel. So those are the three generally. And of course, based on the season, the Caribbean Christmas tea as well, which incidentally enough tastes quite different from your typical sorrel, because the spices that are applied, the only spice really is anise, also
Right.
known as fennel. So those are the ones that are really we would present as iced teas, and they all have the flexibility of being used in a cocktail. So the Caribbean Christmas tea works really well with white rum, carnelian, as I said, with vodka. The citrine and the amber does really nice with dark rums. So perhaps like a black label, or if you're fancy, a little 1919, that kind of thing. So you get a nice flexible use out of the tea, because it's not just something hot to drink when you're not feeling good.
Right. And even though now I drink them daily, because, sometimes you just, or even not twice a day, one of the things, one person's been asking me, especially when they see me at the studio, they're like, so that's it? You just join, that's it? And I remember the conversation we had about being able to be economical with your teas, because it's that time of the year. We've been having a challenging year last year. You know, you have I think 20 tea bags per packet. So forget the tone thing, but you can tell I was using it. Um, is there a way we can tell them about the economics of maybe using it a couple times?
As I said, the desire really is to give you the experience as if you went in the yard and picked it yourself,
Yeah.
as if granny make that cup of tea for you, as if auntie make that cup of tea for you. And granny and even yourself, you wouldn't change on the ingredients. You want the thing to taste good, you want it. So if it is the intent really is to give you the best cup of tea that you can have, um, you can either leave the tea bag in a cup and get a really strong brew, or some customers, dependent on their desire, they actually steep the same tea bag two, maybe even three times. I have one in particular says outright one pack of tea lasts her an entire month. So each she makes sure she uses, that tea bag is going to be used as many times as possible. Yeah, yeah.
I
So
will
depending,
confess, I draw mine for at least twice to three times, you know,
yeah,
and it's still to me strong at the
it,
end.
it is dependent on your taste. So if it
Yeah,
is you love a really strong cup, that's fine. Leave the tea bag inside of there. Your tea is going to have muscles.
muscles, good. I like that one. You gotta, yeah. Now, as I have this out, tell us about the packaging because you said you came from the old school. Do you have the old school to show us?
Um,
I know you said you had something. So I'm showing you the new look of the tea bag. This is my
this is where we've
Caribbean
come from.
Christmas tea.
So
My
there's the stuff and the stuff inside it, your regular decorative ribbon. I don't
yes.
think this has been too food safe because of the heat and whatnot. But it didn't really. It was a craft. It was something to do with the boy. So this is where we would have come from. I think this is lemongrass.
Lemongrass. And you're
Yes.
right, you're smelling it so strong. This is the Caribbean Christmas tea I have in my hand. So tell us about the bag. What I like, it's kind of weird, Nigel. What I like about the string, I just tie it around the cup, you know, so it stays there. Because sometimes in the traditional tea bags, you lose the string inside of the cup, you know. So what I do is tie it around the cup handle, and I'm good to go for a bit.
We've gotten feedback from customers where their experience has all been different, but generally, the idea, as I said, really is to be able to present something of great flavor, great profile, and the experience as well. So each element of the packaging presents some sort of benefit. So let's start with the bag itself. We use a resealable pack so that down to the very last tea bag, as long as you reseal, you're going to be just as fresh or as close as possible to the first tea
All
bag that
right,
you
you're talking about the resealable part here. Yeah.
if we compare if we're comparing to other stuff on the market, the consideration for a lot of the other brands, they're in a box.
Box.
So off the bat, when you shake two, three times, you have a lot of the ingredients inside the box but outside of the tea bag. Then you have the ones that are individually wrapped, but they're individually wrapped in paper.
Yes.
So you have some sort of moisture passing through, permeating the paper and whatnot as well. So those are some of the things that we've tried to negate by use of this type of packaging. Paper is a recycled material
Indeed.
as well, and the bag is pretty sturdy, so you can reduce, reuse, recycle as much as possible. I know I have gotten feedback from customers where they cut up the vegetables, they went to the farmers market, so they take the pack and they put the little cut up carrots and then inside. That's their stuff inside. And
Have a
because
pack.
yes, yes, we have the resealable pack inside of there. So that's one. The second is the tea bag itself. The tea bag is made from a material called zane. Zane is a corn-based fiber. It is a fabric made from corn starch, basically.
Right. Right.
So biodegradable just as any other paper type product. And the string is a cotton base as well. So in true form, sticking to our brand promise. We giving you nature in its best form possible, and of course the ingredients inside of the tea bag, what we can compare to your typical run-of-the-mill commercial tea. If you open a tea bag, you don't have to guess what's inside of there. It's not a powder. It's very unlikely you
Right.
see and you're saying, well, I wonder if this is, it's smelling like kind of, no, you can look at the ingredients and see what's inside of there. That's important also because it allows for the water to permeate and give you that better flavor. So that another thing as well, because it's not a powder inside of there, the tea bag is slightly oversized, which would allow for the
Oh,
ingredients to go around in the water a bit more.
I didn't think
Yeah.
about that.
If you go to some of those commercial chain cafes and you purchase a cup of tea from them, you'd realize the tea bag is really full after the cup of tea is steeped, which doesn't really allow for the ingredients to move around
Right.
well in water. So all of those little things add to what the end result is. Obviously, different types of tea would have different characteristics. So the ginger would be strong and punchy. The Christmas is strong and punchy. The bamboo, as I said, is light and delicate. Um, the thyme, we have a thyme tea as well. That's a little more on the delicate side, but the aroma is really rich as well. So you have slight variations in what the expectation of the end product would be like, but generally our intention is to give each tea bag, each cup of tea that you have, the best experience that you can have.
Part of the best experience, and you keep driving on that point. Obviously, this has to be a team effort. Talking about the young man who is really the man behind anything, is does he? Yeah, because I thought it was you. So I take back all the blies, and the props. So it's that young man. But I obviously you are one of those. You are the man going out there and pushing it. But when it comes to those decision making about the type of bags to use, the recyclable bags. Is it something that you sit down and have a conversation with your son as well? Is he part of the boardroom discussion?
Isaac is more of an operational assistant right now. The girls, oh my goodness, the girls are the experimenters. I have two daughters,
Yes.
and the last is three. She believes in lemongrass. Everything is tea, and we have to have sit and have cups of tea and whatnot. The older one is a lemongrass fan as well, but her approach is slightly different. Everybody must drink lemongrass tea. Yeah.
I think when I met the older daughter, I think, and one of the things you did say to me is you would love lemongrass tea.
Yes, that's her word. I had nothing to do with that. Absolutely
It was
nothing.
because we were chatting and she just jumped in. She says, you would love the lemongrass tea. Yeah.
Everybody must drink lemongrass tea. But she's also the type to ask, so can we make tea with X, Y, and so a running joke we have is she wants to make watermelon tea. I don't know how I do it as yet, to figure out a way, but Nia wants to do watermelon tea. But that's their involvement in the process. The 3-year-old from time to time when she's in the office here, she would want to go pack and we need to give her a pair of gloves and she has her hair net. Daddy, don't worry, I'll get my shower cap and I will cover my hair. 3 years old. But yes, apart from the little people, my daddy is also on board from a management perspective. I have a cousin as well on board from a management perspective as well. So we bounce ideas off of each other. As I said, I would have been part of a program at Kariri, the business hatchery program. Very, 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 very important. I suggest every entrepreneur take a look at their programs. They've totally changed the way I look at business, at entrepreneurship, at running this sort of enterprise. And coming out of that program, I was assigned a mentor, and even though the mentorship program had ended,
Mm-hmm.
um, because of the quality and caliber of people around the team, we've always kept in contact. The Kariri Hatchery alum alumni group is pretty strong. I can pick up the phone and ask a question, get some feedback. So the reach of the support is even further than that as well, because we have some customers that trust and believe. You don't like it, they don't like it, they'll pull you aside and say, oops. They say, what told me to say? Yeah. So the support, the decision making really starts with that far rippling outwards, and as we come in gradually, we have the closer knit group that makes those decisions and changes.
I'm glad to hear, and I'm extremely glad to hear that the young ones are involved. So obviously they will be continuing on with Twigs Naturals as they get older. Fingers crossed. I'm pretty sure they would, you know. So one of the things that I glimpsed on your page, and you mentioned just a bit about it in terms of culinary, I hope I said that word correctly. Always one of those tongue twisters for me. But seasoning. So are you saying that we can use some of these as part of our seasonings for those? There may be some persons on the outside are not accustomed to seasoning our meats. We do that, and I know you can certainly speak to that. But how do we use it as seasonings?
So a little bit of that side of Nigel. My auntie is actually a chef, and I would have grown up in the kitchen. Auntie was a student at hotel school at about 4 or 5 years old. So she has her assignments, so she'd pull me in and have me doing stuff in the kitchen. So the love for things that taste good started pretty early.
Yeah.
So as somebody in the culinary arts, the use of unusual things to apply flavors, unusual to us here, I have no qualms around it. So we experiment, we play with this, we play with that, we play with the other, and some research would have identified that what we call Spanish thyme, the broadleaf thyme,
Yes.
in some cultures is known as Indian borage, and it's used as a tea.
I
So,
fancy myself drinking that one though.
so we see it as seasoning.
Yes.
The rest of the world see it as something for tea. My point is, even we use it as a particular way here, we shouldn't be pigeonholed into that particular use alone, and it can apply a whole lot of different flavor profiles and whatnot. So specific to the seasoning range that we have right now, we actually have lemongrass, ginger,
Right.
thyme. We do the Spanish thyme on its own, but we also have the blend. So we do the fine leaf and the broadleaf, and we
Right.
find that carries a different flavor, richness. And because the machine dehydrates everything, it condenses the flavors. So you get a different richness. The same would apply for the pimento. We do pimento as well as a seasoning. And you find those preparations can twist a good dish to make it great.
Okay. And for Caribbean folks like ourselves, those are seasonings that we use from going to the backyard. But how has Twigs Naturals brought it to us? In terms of convenience again, is it a packaging that you're offering?
Same concept. We use the resealable pouches, but it's the same principle behind the tea. You're supposed to feel as if you went to the garden and picked this. So it's the same rich flavor, the same boldness of flavor. The ginger isn't ground to powder. So you throw that in your stir fry. You have your garlic. We do garlic as well. Even though garlic isn't grown here, we use it a lot in our cooking. So you could throw that in your hot oil before you started your curry and whatnot, and you get that bursting with flavor. You can rehydrate it. Put in a little bit of warm water, and it will rehydrate. So you get a slightly more pungent bitter garlic as opposed to you crushing it at the spot, and you get the convenience of having it all over the place all the time. So let's say, for example, excuse, this happens a lot as well. Instead of buying the fresh seasoning to travel with, this is airplane safe.
Right.
This is shipping safe. This has a shelf life of 2 years.
Great.
So once meal is remained, can we use one of the oldest preservation methods known to man. That's dehydration. We dry it. That's all we do. We remove the moisture, but the process starts with the highest quality ingredients. We go as much as possible straight to the farmers. In many cases, we literally get it off the land. So even before they carry the bundle to market, we would have had our pickings out of it already. So
Right.
the starts there. And then it moves to the actual manufacture process where as quickly as possible, just like freeze drying, like frozen vegetables and fruits, the quicker you take it through the process, the better. So you get a more rich, bold, long-lasting flavor. And as long as we go through that process, we're able to package and seal and get a really long shelf life there.
And you are so correct. Not that I was doubting anything you said, because my mother also has, we have a family business where we do a lot of that dehydration for longevity. And people always wonder how you do, and the elements that are provided to us are right there. So indeed, that's a great way to certainly get your seasoning, to get your teas. One of the great things from Twigs Naturals. Check out the website. Now, for persons who want to get a couple bags, I have 6, I think, and I'm still going now. But I need to try this garlic. Eh? I know.
So it's I've grown to love it. Apart from hypertension being in the family, I have a truck passing. Yeah.
Not a problem.
Found over time, I'm able to discern the richness of the flavor, and it's a different. I enjoy the garlic tea actually.
You do. People find it strange because I can eat garlic raw. I grate it and I take it in, but I don't know if I can drink the tea. So that's what. Yeah, if I can take it raw, I guess I can drink the tea as well. Where can we get it for those persons? Let's deal with home first, and then we'll talk about internationally. So, how do persons get their bag or bags of Twigs Natural? Because since I've been talking a lot social media platforms, the social media platform, persons have been asking me, Jay, where do I get it? So, can you answer that question locally? Then we can go across the waters.
So let's start with the digital side of things first. Twigsnaturals.com, of course.
Right.
You pay via PayPal. We do credit card transactions directly on the site. We also have the opportunity. We've had the opportunity to be working with Planting Seeds as well. PlantingSeedsCaribbean.com.
Right.
Awesome springboard for entrepreneurs. Awesome. They've been doing some really great work over the past few years. Because of their agent, they actually have an opportunity for some free delivery with them, right? Also, there's the On the Go app. On the Go is a mobile app.
Because you know,
DEGO, On the Go.
Yeah.
It's available there as well. So you can log in, check X, Y, and Z, and make your purchases directly there. That's the real high-end, super fancy, techie version of the sales. And then, of course, the product is available at multiple locations throughout Trinidad and Tobago, from Starlight Drugs to Herbs and Health in San Fernando, Gulf City Mall, Laramie, Price Club in Shoguanas, East Gourmet in Arima. We have stuff at the Cottage, oh my goodness, in Radisson, in Radisson Hotel. You could park up. The entire store is about local, is about Trinidad and Tobago, is about high end, is about us. So you have the full range available there, as well as Terry Benny shop in the Normandy. Again, local great flavors. It's not just Twigs Naturals tea alone. You have a whole range of, from wines to liqueurs to chocolates to whatever you can think of there, as well as Jonkalage Gypsy Caravan in the Queen's Park Oval. So it's all spots that provide some sort of convenience. I don't have to worry about getting recorded, getting towed away. I have proper parking. I can take my time and go through. And because we are big on quality, where we place our product as well carries that sort of mindset. So you have the opportunity to see product from other artisans of a really high standard here in Trinidad and Tobago. We're in the chocolate bar in Santa Cruz, we're in Tobago. There is TWIGS Natural, oh my goodness, that's in Storby. Yeah. So we have access to um, high end, high quality other artisans that you can rub shoulders with,
Right.
and if you're looking for gifts, if you're looking for something for yourself, it's not just you alone. And that's important for us as well, because we strongly believe as we climb, we need to pull others with us as well. So if you go through our social media, you would see we will be reposting those other locations, those other artisans that we may do little bundles with from time to time. So chocolate bar is a nice one as well. Locally grown Trinitario chocolate. They have a nice little cafe. You can sit and have a cup of tea as well. So those are some of the places and spaces the product is available.
So we have a wide variety here, as you said, locally, and I'm guessing for the international folks, as you mentioned, the digital platform of TWIGS Naturals, they place their orders there, and you mentioned the option of payment, PayPal being one of them. So, but and of course, you're on other platforms, be it IG or Facebook. So we have those ways in which to communicate with you, you know. So let's just quickly wrap up this conversation because I know you got some teas to take care of, and I do know we want to just give a little hint of what we're possibly working on. Possibly soon we'll be having tea talks inside of this particular platform.
Excited for that.
Yeah, and we're diving into, so basically what it is, guys, looking on, we're going to dive into each tea for just a few minutes, no more than 20 minutes of your time, and we dive into each one of them, telling you the benefits and what you can do, you know, some creative ways you can use that. Am I correct with the info that I'm sharing there?
Yeah, nail on the head.
Right? And Nigel, how many teas do you have in total?
17.
17 teas. So 17 conversations to look forward to. And of course, we'll
17
gather.
17 plus,
Plus.
because potential of, because we can look at different recipes, things to eat, things to drink,
Right.
unusual ways you can use the ingredients, that kind of stuff.
Okay, great, great, great. Well, you know what? As always, it is good to connect with you. It has finally happened on this platform. Thank you so much for your time. I don't know if you have any final words before I wrap it up inside of J Chats for today. But Twigs Naturals is simply what I can say. Check them out. You will not regret it.
Yep. Thank you so much for the opportunity. For those of you outside of Trinidad and Tobago, apart from the website, in the UK, there is
Really?
mytrinidad.com. Yes, they're actually exclusive with the product. We're doing really well in the UK. Yes, you might tell yourself, well, they just drink tea there plenty. You'd be surprised as to what is actually selling. The teas are doing good, but out of the totally out of the water are the seasonings, the opportunity for the caterers, the you really want your food to taste like home. Man, try to dash of that inside of there.
Yeah.
We're in conversations. We've confirmed with a distributor in the US, and we're just tying up a couple loose ends there, as well as of a bit of really unusual as well is the feedback and response we're getting out of the African continent. We're getting a lot of interest inside of there, so we're putting some things in place that would allow for ease of shipping across there. Despite the climate being similar, tropical, warm weather,
Yes.
that as I said, the historical element, the melding of the cultures, the history of Trinidad and Tobago has allowed us to have ingredients that are very different, and this is appreciated around the world. So that we're seeing the avenues, we're seeing the opportunities, and we're going to be moving into those markets. You never know with the internet. So we're trying a thing, we get any feedback, we get any love, we get any interest, and that's where we're heading. So thanks again for the support. Keep looking out for all the bigger and better things to come in 2021.
Of course. One more thing before you go. How long is the shipping for some cases for those persons who may want to, you know, in terms of orders, like
So,
Africa
so,
and these
so
places you go?
we generally use DHL as the conduit. North America could be 2 to 3 days,
Right.
literally.
Okay.
Europe, we do a lot of shipping there via FedEx. and they would be within a week, as in we send something the Monday before Friday, close of business for the latest Friday, they'll get it.
That's good.
On the subcontinent, on the continent, we tend to see we could be about a week and a half, dependent on how their customs, and generally is those nuances that makes the difference for those territories. That's what makes the difference. So you could, just like you would purchase something online on Amazon or whatnot, here in Trinidad and Tobago, it could take about anywhere between a week and a half to be here. It's about the same type of experience. The challenge really is the movement of the goods from here to there. We can cut that down by making some arrangements with somebody in that particular territory to have holding some inventory and pushing it off to the customers in a faster time frame.
Because I asked that question, one of my friends who lives in Belgium, and I introduced her, Brussels, I think it is, really. But I introduced her to your teas some time ago when she was in Trini. And she always says, Jay, the problem is getting it to there. Because
fix that. MyTradingShop.com covers EU, covers UK, so she can place her order there. She'll get everything from her bay leaf. She can get moringa. They're actually doing the bamboo tea as well now. She can get any one of the seasonings. And while you're there, you could probably pick up some mother-in-law pepper sauce. You could probably pick up some.
Oh, she would love to know that. Yes. Because
yes. MyTradingShop.com. Yes.
MyTriniShop.com.
Because I've gotten screenshots something from them. They have customers in Denmark. They have customers in Luzon. They have customers in Geneva. They have customers in Ireland. And one would think, yeah, well, there's a Trini living out there. Not necessarily. Our oil and gas experience here in Trinidad and Tobago, we have persons flying our flag in different parts of the world, Kazakhstan, Norway, and treaties have impacted our culture on those people.
Yeah.
And we have non-treaties making the purchase.
Absolutely in love with our
all over. You taste that orange peel, and yes, I drink in that. So that's the end result of us treaties being on there. So mytradingshop.com, your friend in Brussels, fully covered. No seed.
Yeah, I will certainly tell her that, and of course she'll be looking on because she's always supporting GChats. So thank you so much to Mr. Nigel Jordan and the entire team, the different levels of heights that you in the back at TWIGS Naturals. Thank you so much for introducing us to this, and just thank you for making it so easy in terms of accessibility as well. And I look forward to our tea talks coming up. So for those of you that consistently support GChats, check that out. It will be, maybe, I think we're going to do twice per month. We're going to have a conversation about different teas, and you can share that information as well. So as always, it's been a joy, and to be back inside of your world via GChats. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share, and also click that little bell too, because you got to make sure to know when I'm back on it. Yes. Oh, by the way, Nigel came out is an IT guy and a graphics guy too, so he's multi-talented. Maybe I'll certainly have a conversation with him about something to do here. But thank you so much as always, and I'll talk to you soon. Yeah?
Blessings. Thank you so much.
Speaking to you. Take care of yourself. And again, Happy New Year to you and yours.
And everybody else. Blessings.
Yes. Thank you. Take care, guys. Much love.
Life in general is not easy, but best to believe me when I say that last year brought every man to his knees. However, with a vision, man can succeed. So just as a Trinbagonian will do, we will not concede. From the right perspective, Ferrera Optical will help us to see. With complete eyewear starting at $750. Bring your goals for 2021 in clear view. You see challenges? They make warriors out of you. So don't limit your vision. Call 227-7000 or book your appointment at FerreraOptical.com. Who says you can't?
Well, this is why I say thank you so much for allowing me in your world. I know you got your things to do, but you still tuned in, and I appreciate that. So don't forget, click subscribe, click the like, share, and just let all of us gather from the information that is being shared inside of GChats, even if it's the fun ones as well. Serious fun, whatever it is. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Stay safe. I'm JD.